understand? So
Tell me about Belarus.
Belarus.
Yes.
Belarus that's UC story.
Hmm.
UC story. UC famous Rumsey. I wasn't even there, but man, that song is a beautiful song.
That song is
bro.
crazy.
It's a beautiful song,
crazy.
man.
But then
It changed a
again,
lot.
yeah. Personally, I feel like you've changed what it's because you've been able to fuse drill and Afro together. You've changed how that kind of sound works, right? Because like you see artists that want to sing like Odumodu because of that kind of beat you are making. So do you think that you have actually changed something? Because like if you look at like Rexy now, like he has changed. Like some people call it Afro Adura.
Yeah, I do.
You get so like. Do you think that you've changed the like because of that fusion, you've changed something in the industry?
Bro. I pray change. I just thank God for where I am and to be, acknowledged like this. But I'll give credit to the artists. I'll give credit, like you said, people like Odumodu, YP, SK, Laxi, with his voice, famous. These are people that have really, influenced even more than I could in terms of the sound. So, like I said, the sound bending is a pleasure for me.
Yeah, sound bending like is what you like to enjoy to do. So then again, let's look at the business of your sound making. Let's come to business of sound making, right? I know at some point you started making money, right? But was there a point in your life where it looked like you were not getting this thing?
Bro.
And the money was not coming?
Oh, yes.
Please tell me about it.
Bro, I don't even know where to start. There was a point where you start from the period when I was in training. There was a point where I didn't have this one is not anything. You were doing things but no money coming in because I stopped work. So I was just trying to do this. I drank hot water for 4 days.
Wow.
But there's nothing inside. When God now opens the door and you start to learn, but still for about almost 9 years.
9 years?
Yes. No tangible. Even my father, they look me like, how far are you now, my guy? How far?
Yes.
You get, but my mother believed because, I don't know, spiritually, there's a way mothers don't play with them, you understand? That's why it's good for us to have a good wife. Make she they back you up with prayer. So for almost 9-8 years there was this no tangible, and I've put in when I did the calculation almost about when you do it yearly in terms of putting money, almost about 8 million. Get almost
all
about
all those money. That
equipment. Just people that believe you, then maybe savings from here, mom see there, daddy here, this one here, you understand, goodwill, not from the music itself.
So for 9 years the music you're not giving anything.
But I did training, bro. I did train. That's what I'm saying, like this is where my own testimony is God's word for me. It was what he said that that's why I said that when you have confirmation, it gives you doggedness. Because the confirmation for God, what is for those days in darkness when you don't, when everybody's looking at you, don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like you are just everybody's looking at you. That is what is for. That's why I advise anybody in anything you are doing, even this talented guy behind the camera, because God said this is what it's for, and it drives your passion. If not, my brother, in those dark days you will divert, and that's when you will change. Where people get the concept of the multiverse is from choice. It's not scientific, it's spiritual. Now if you made the choice to be an arm robber, you've changed the trajectory of what
everything
you become
around you, yeah.
So when you know this thing that this is what God said for me, you will fight, even to the point where your father will question you, say, Baba, this thing is not normal, this is not what I'm supposed to do.
But you know that we are in Africa, bro.
Yes, now.
Yes. Africa. And
yes,
that thing where you see, now only you God show. You don't show your papa, you don't show your mama.
Bro.
So, but how are you able to, because they put you through school and they want to see doctor.
Thank you.
So how you take convince in a production I want to do?
Now the miracle of it is that at season and time, when he started getting near to where that point I started making money, my dad saw some things. Now, if spiritual based on faith, God visited him. You understand? He saw. And when he calmed down, then what now shocked me that he himself now brought small money. He said, take. He said, just go. So it helped me putting things together, getting equipment. Then when he finally broke through, bam, you get. Then I now started, giving them back small, like, hey, take this, take that, take this. He still, like, if I want to do certain things, he still helps out. But that was the battle for years. I questioned myself, was that irresponsibility? This, what am I doing here? What is this? You understand? They sit down, they make beats, but
see, and that time, said anything computer, our parents they like every time you did computer.
No, and I did petroleum chemistry. That's what I studied.
Wow. But are you looking to pursue that anytime soon?
I tried that. I served in NNPC. I did a little of. As I say that sometimes you understand that I did a little of this and that, but it was just because God allowed me to do it. There is God's permissive will, there is God's perfect will. It's very scary. Now I now understood that this petroleum chemistry is his permissive will, because most of the people that have aligned with me were in economics in my school, another sector. And in the truth be told, when I wanted to start school, I wanted to do economics, but I was scared. I was feeling sciencey. I said, let me go to petroleum chemistry. So the thing about it, God just blessed me to have access for it, but I did not need to do anything with petroleum chemistry.
Let's take a deep breath. I want to process everything, because you don't bust my head. I don't know. I'm out of words, because
bro,
you don't drop powerful words right now.
Bro,
but I want to learn something right now. So this is the thing. You said something about permissive will and
perfect will.
Can you explain those two concepts?
Now, the permissive will is God allowing things. Like, for instance, now, let's be candid. His perfect will is he wants you to be a good boy. But his permissive will is he sees you with one babe and you people are going to the room the next day, and he allowed it. You get? He has allowed that you could own 10 businesses. But his perfect will is there is one of the businesses that will make you become, you understand? His perfect will is that he will want you to be the best version of yourself. But permissive will gives space for our choices. That's why I say our choices are very powerful. That's the only thing God does not act against. That's why the world is the way it is. Choice. So it's because of the spirit of irresponsibility we question God. When he has given us the most powerful thing, your choice, like the only thing he doesn't act against. So that's where this thing comes from. Permissive will is based on your choice. If you make a choice today to say, I want to be this, you guys are establishing this, and you're going to carry it to the ends of the world. If it's in his perfect will, this thing will go times 10. His permissive will is he will still bless it.
Yeah,
that is the difference.
I'll come back to this your God factor, right? But was there, aside petroleum and beat making, was there any other business you tried? Just pull hand for something. Money they come.
Hospitality at a certain point. I worked for my dad for a year. I worked in the police service commission. Like there's a department there, the intelligence department. Then I now did 1 year with my dad in his business, but I wanted to do my own thing at a certain point. As when I applied for certain jobs, this is the thing. It wasn't just coming. Just like that.
I'm actually enjoying this time with you.
Thank you. I'm enjoying you guys
because,
too.
Honestly speaking, I've learned a lot, especially this permissive will and this other one.
Bro, it's very scary.
It's scary
because it's why people you would think you will stay. Someone is suffering for years, and you say, "Oh, it's God." It's not God. You question, you will go back and ask. Because myself, it challenged me to ask. He even allows you to understand the concept of choosing a partner. This is why sometimes God will allow you choose. Okay, this is what you want. Take it. But you get person where he don't pick for you. But if you don't ask him, this is the difference. If you don't ask God, God is not going to intrude. That's how love works. You understand? Love is not forceful. Do you get? Love is not forceful. Love always gives you a choice. You get? That is just it.
Wow. So now let's go back to your God factor. Because from the very beginning, even when we started talking, you were always like, you just give me this level of humility.
No, bro,
Every time,
I
it's always a forte for you, and you always like you never miss out where God has helped you, where your own energy finish, where you even do stop. You always like talk about God helped me, God helped me. So how was growing up? Did you grow up in a Christian family?
I would say yes. My mom and dad did a good job in bringing us up, but they still gave us freedom to go and learn and experiment and know things yourself. So I was able to experience life and understand that God is the best. Like, you can't do things without him. If you want to, it's your business, but I'd rather with God.
But someone can actually question why they produce music for all these people. They produce music for Christian musicians.
No, I do. I do.
But it's not as out there as...
No, it's just like, how will I put it? The prayer is, God, bring bread to my table.
That's your...
whether it is wheat bread or so you understand. Chocolate bread, thank you. My own bread is on the table. Wow. And that's how it works. He still blesses these people, because if you look in the Bible, he raised Cyrus to be a terminator, just to come and free Israel.
You read Bible?
No, bro, I just started, following all these things. Leave all these things. The next thing you see me with one babe on the street like
it happens now. It happens to the best of us. You get. So we'll be rounding up very soon. But before we round up, I want you to just give me a template of... I want to start as a new music producer. Just give me a template to run me into that career.
Okay, first of all, for me personally, you have interest.
Okay.
You should have interest in it. In music first. Study and research it. You understand? Study and research music theory and sound. Those two help you, music theory and sound. We have internet now, so you don't even need to go to a school. You can download PDFs and read for like 2 months and get it. Then get equipment, gather money. That's the thing. A person that is serious about a passion, you will gather money. Like, you guys ain't playing here, man. This is a structure. Do you understand? So when anybody is serious about anything, they don't need to tell you. You get money to get things. Then you pray about it. That's my own prescription, so that you have guidance, you have direction, you have favor. Even in dark times, you are certain that this is what you are meant to do. Once you have these three, then all the rest you'll be going through relationships. Build good relationships, because they are seasonal relationships and they are destiny relationships. You understand? The seasonal come and go. The ones that are attached to your destiny, they are the ones you should guard. So you need to know all those things.
Wow. So before we go, one funny thing I just realized. See, is your real name Afroselecta? Is it?
Afroselecta-BBK. BBK is my name, like so my father's name is pronounced as Baba Bikoy. It means father of children.
Where are you from?
Adamawa State. But my mom is Edo. Yes, my mom is Edo. But we kind of have this Cameroon, whatever.
Okay, so now one last question.
Yes.
One last question. Afroselecta is like a brand for you, right? So that is business for you. And BBK as a person, you as a whole, is a separate person, separate entity. Let me put it that way. So, but let me come to the question: how do you separate your business finance from your personal finance? Because we noticed that a lot of people that don't do this they're always comfortable. Let's hear from you. How do you manage business finance and personal finance?
I just learned that from my dad. It was at a certain point when we started getting close to, especially when things started breaking forth, he started teaching me, so I adapted that from him. I'll just say he just taught me you must separate this from this, and sometimes your personal finance is what you even use to push your business for a while before you break even. So I just learned that from him, from his own books and learning things, how he did it.
You read books too, yeah?
I've started reading more.
And before, and that you also do anime.
Yes. I have my comic book, Traffic Jam. Traffic Jam. That is it. This is just one of it. It's just a crazy story. I learned from the Japanese people that why their anime industry is crazy is that they can just take anything and expand on it.
Yeah.
For instance, now they can't look at your body and say what's happening inside the human body. There's an anime about that. They will look at the world of podcasts and say, podcast, this is something. So it's the same thing with Traffic Jam. I just took imagine what's happening inside traffic in a cartoon way.
The more we keep talking, I have a lot of things, a lot. But we're just going to end it and wrap it here with just something. What inspires you?
What inspires me is that's it's a technical question. I would say my inspiration is just from God, like being the man God wants me to be, pressing towards that. That is my own. That's where I draw inspiration from. Okay. Aside that,
for music, make I break it down for music, right? Because this whole Afro and drill fusion, it didn't just start today. Do you understand? Like, it didn't just start, like, you didn't just sit down and just make it. Where did it come from? Like, because
music.
Think about Fela beats. Think about Afro. Think about.
I would say, like I said, those people I called, especially Chopsticks. Chopstick, he kind of influenced. I've told him this before. He kind of influenced how I looked at production. Him, UC, and Timbaland. Those three. You know, because Timbaland is actually really the one that at a young age I saw him combining sounds. So you know that's where sound bending comes from, like combining, fusing sounds. So that's what those three people especially, you know, they fuse sounds. So that's where it comes from.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you.
Guys, that's been a very wonderful conversation, and we had Afroselecta-BBK, the top-notch producer in the city.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So guys, I hope you learned a lot. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Rate the podcast wherever you listen to, on Spotify, on Anchor, on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you rate. And if you have any questions for any of our guests, please do share your questions. But then again, my guy, before you go there's something we do. So you're going to give us just one song to vibe to for this week.
One song to vibe to for this week. Different P.
Just one. Different P.
Different P, yes. By Afroselecta-BBK. Different P.
BBK.
Yes.
Different
That's
P.
my brother. He's one you hear on some of our records. Bro, that voice like that.
Okay.
But Afroselecta-BBK, different P.
All right.
I mean.
Shout
out to
thank you so much.
Afroselecta.
Different P, I'm on a different trip. Different P, I'm on a different rip. Different P, I know if you get them face. Different P, I'm on to descent with. And if them talk, we know if you get them face. If them talk, we go to get them kiss. If them talk, we go to hit them Chris. I said they shoot them face, we go to shoot them place. You know we balance, yeah, you know we balance. We know we gallant. All of my matches, yeah, we gallant. All of my guys have said they gallant. Standing